gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of The Reality of Wrestling. Danny Limelight and Lexis King are here in the building tonight. Also, we will see Matty Ice for the first time since losing his Reality of Wrestling Championship, taking on Cam Cole. That and so much more this week on The Reality of Wrestling.
Hey, Bull. Hey, Bull. Look, hey. You know why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know why I'm here.
I know why you're here.
Look, this is ridiculous, man. This isn't good for business, all right? Look, Danny Limelight and Lexis King is bad enough together, okay? But look, Danny screwed me out of the Texas title. I've held that for over 400 days, man, okay? Everybody saw the low blow, all right? And on top of that, him with Lexis King, it cost me the last match with him, all right? We had a classic going on, and it was ruined because of him. Look, you've been the face of this company for a very long time. You and I go way back. They got the right man for the job to go ahead and make things straight around here. I'm asking the same thing tonight. You got to make this straight. I don't want just Danny Limelight in the ring. I want Danny Limelight and Lexis King in that ring. Just me. I can handle it, Abel. You know I've been through more than enough adversity.
Okay. Look. I know you're frustrated. Hell, we're all frustrated. You and Lexis King was having a classic match.
A classic.
But come on, man. I can't have you out there taking on both of those guys in a handicap match.
Abel.
That's just bad for business.
What they're doing is bad for business.
But you know what's good for business?
Come on.
If I do grant your request in a tag team match. Now, if you can go out there and you can find yourself a partner, it's all butter, baby.
Partner of my choosing.
You're choosing.
Versus Danny and Lexis in a tag match. That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
Like I said, right man for the job. I'm going to get that done.
That's good for business.
Ready for takeoff once again here at Reality of Wrestling, Sammy.
Elton John's favorite wrestler, the Rocket Man himself, Josiah John. He's going to have to be doing some heavy lifting here tonight.
Josiah John facing, quite frankly, possibly one of the biggest challenges his entire career when he faces the likes of Tumer here inside the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena.
He's not a Tumer.
The master of Fat Jitsu and current Memphis Wrestling Heritage Champion, Tumer, is in the house, Sammy.
That's a big man coming all the way from Memphis to where the action is, right here at Reality of Wrestling.
We saw him make his debut at the Last Stand, where he wasn't Heritage Champion quite yet, but now we see him just coming here with championship gold in tow, and you've got to imagine that Josiah John is quite possibly looking not only to pick up a win, but possibly go to Memphis himself and take that very gold from Tumer.
There's a bit of a brand warfare here. You got Memphis Wrestling versus Reality of Wrestling.
It's all about that talent exchange, as we are going to be seeing more people from Memphis Wrestling. We saw Mike Anthony just a few weeks ago trying to become the #1 contender for the television championship, and now we are seeing Josiah possibly start his own road to being Memphis Wrestling champion. Heritage champion, excuse me.
We are on the road to the Summer of Champions, and they say Tumer has already got gold of his own, but Josiah John still looking to hit pay dirt here in Reality, get some championship around his waist, and the master of Fat Jitsu putting it on display.
Now, don't let his size fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Tumer is a very agile big man. He's a master of Fat Jitsu. You saw that leg sweep right there. As of late, I have actually been taking classes in Fat Jitsu myself, Sammy, and I'm proud to say I finally earned my brown belt.
It takes one thing to learn it, it's another to master Fat Jitsu, and that is what Tumer has done. The illegitimate son of Bruce Leroy.
Is that right?
He told me that earlier today, yeah. The illegitimate son of Bruce Leroy, and you can see that he's got that heritage in his genes and putting the hurt here on Elton John's favorite wrestler, Josiah John.
And right now, Tumer in the corner, taking it to Josiah John, the Rocket Man himself. But that power, full display. And what does he got to do here to truly get a victory over Josiah John?
Well, normally I would say with a man that weighs over 300 pounds, closer to 400, you want to try to get him off his feet, but Tumer's proven that he can be athletic with the best. If anybody has the athleticism on display like Josiah John just put on right there.
Oh, man. Tumer, man. He is no joke, the master of Fat Jitsu on display right there.
Fat 40 kick, and Josiah might be out.
He has not moved ever since the
Here we go,
strike.
cover. Oh, kick out there just for left the last second. Fat Jitsu. I mean, now, Sammy Kiss, what is Josiah going to have to do to find a way to pack in this thing?
Well, the fact that he's got a almost 400-pounder right on top of him, he's got to get to a vertical base and get some separation. You know what a man...
Well, he just separated his arm right there is what it looks like.
Yeah. But Josiah John, he's got a lot of heart. I mean, Tumer may be the master of Fat Jitsu, but Josiah John had his own former master and the two-time Hall of Famer Booker T. So if there's anybody who might be able to find the equation...
What do you think, Kirby?
Josiah John has got to use his speed. And look at that, the up and over. He missed with it. He's trying to get under Tumer or over Tumer, but I don't know what Josiah John. Oh, there's that speed. I was gonna say I don't really know exactly what Josiah John can do other than use his speed.
You saw that kick, maybe not landed exactly where Tumer wanted, but hit Josiah bad in that arm. See him tending to it.
Josiah up to the second rope.
Just trying to grab a hold here, maybe trying to create a bit of discomfort here for Tumer. But again, that high kick connects. The flexibility
this is not
of
good.
Tumer is on a whole other level.
Not good for Josiah.
Man, dang, man, cover here. 1, 2, count to 1,000.
You know, it's not the spin that gets you, it's the sudden stop. The master of Fat Jitsu putting a hurt 1, 2, 3, and it's all over.
Just like that, Tumer defeats the Rocket.
The Memphis Heritage Champion once again picks up a victory here at Reality of Wrestling. And now you've got to imagine that Josiah John has got to try and figure out another way to try and challenge that man once again, possibly for that championship.
I don't know if he'd want to do that. He might want to take some time off, lick his wounds a little bit. Josiah's a great competitor, but Tumer just showed why he's championship material.
Emily May standing by at Reality of Wrestling with Promise Braxton, and we're on the road to Summer of Champions, and you have to earn this victory against Jada Stone tonight to get that #1 contender spot. What's your mentality heading into this match?
You know what, Emily? The fact that this company isn't kissing my feet right now honestly blows my mind. I won a tryout. Let's be clear. Won a tryout to Japan, and I come back to all this disrespect. And tonight, I'm supposed to be facing someone that calls themselves the Spark. Jada Stone. I hate to break it to you, sis, but that light dims tonight. Because at Summer of Champions, I will become a 3-time Diamonds Division champion. And that is an absolute, guaranteed. Emily, one more time, baby, what's my name?
Promise Braxton.
Exactly.
former Texas lawyer, Reno woman who competed in that 8 women's Battle to the Bell ladder match. Brad Gilmore here with Kirby Carrion and, of course, Carolina T. Carolina, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, especially being able to be right here front row at Reality of Wrestling.
Best seat in the house, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Promise Braxton, the chosen one, a former Diamonds Division champion, handpicked by Booker T. He saw the diamond that was quite literally in the rough, and now she has formed into the hardest competitor to beat in the Reality of Wrestling's Diamonds Division as she marches towards Summer of Champions 10 with an opportunity, potentially, to reclaim that title, Kirby.
And if she manages to do so, she'll become the 3rd woman in history to become a 3-time Diamonds champion, Brad.
And here we go. These women are about to start things out. Jada Stone, Promise Braxton. Carolina, best seat in the house. What are you thinking about these two here tonight?
Oh my gosh, this right here is the definition of pressure makes diamonds. Promise Braxton has a point to prove tonight. She feels like she's been disrespected ever since she came back from Japan, and now she's trying to leave her mark. And the only person in the way from becoming a champion at Summer of Champions is Jada Stone.
Jada Stone, yeah. I mean, a loss to Jada Stone would put her, back. A win that could be very vital as we march towards Summer Champions. Cover here, 1, and a kick out.
Every single win matters here.
Oh, cover.
And it's not just in regular competition, but especially right now, as we saw Gigi Ray just a few weeks ago get a victory herself, almost evening the score here against Promise Braxton in this race for the Diamonds Championship.
It feels like it's neck and neck, honestly, between Gigi Ray and Promise Braxton. Who really wants it more? And when I spoke to Promise Braxton behind the scenes, she said she wanted it more than anybody else here at Reality of Wrestling. But Jada Stone is not a pushover. She's traveled all across the world. She's trained at some of the best places in the country against some of the biggest wrestling superstars. She's somebody that you definitely don't want to mess with.
No, she's always showed up and showed out here, Kirby, as Jada Stone. But right now, Promise Braxton in the driver's seat in terms of offense. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Well, if you watch social media, you've seen that Jada Stone has been backed by the likes of Mercedes Moné and Bailey. So you know that a lot of women's wrestlers are watching her as possibly the next big breakout star.
Well, then they're not watching Promise Braxton then. Promise Braxton has been control of the Reality of Wrestling division, and I would venture a guess to say maybe I'm not impartial, but we have the best women's roster in all of wrestling outside of, your major companies.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because Jada Stone specifically told me earlier that Texas and at the Reality of Wrestling is where she wants to leave her new mark here, and she wants to dominate the state of Texas to prove she's the best of the best.
And obviously Bailey and Mercedes Moné, 2 of the very best women's athletes of all time in our sport, recognizing something in Jada Stone that we all can see as well.
And we can see her spark, and they call her the Spark for a reason. And she also said the reason why they call her the Spark is because she wants to light Promise Braxton up in the ring tonight, and she wants to smoke a Promise Braxton pack.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. It's the first time I've heard that, Kirby.
The same here as we see Jada Stone again just taking it to Promise Braxton, unlike we've seen before.
Cover 1, 2, Promise Braxton. Strong kick out there from the former champion.
This is definitely a matchup that I love to see. Both of these women are competing at the highest level, and both of them are putting all of their effort into this match.
Lord have mercy. When you kick to the ribs like that, it takes all the air out of you. You can't breathe the same. You're in flux. You're frustrated now, and now she's on top of you, and you're getting these shots with a flurry. Cover 1, 2. That's an MMA strategy right there.
And speaking of kick to Jada Stone, Promise Braxton said that she was going to treat her like a stone that she is and make sure that she kicks rocks tonight.
Man, these women definitely smack talking. You got all the tea.
I did. I got all the tea behind the scenes. I made sure, because I wanted everybody to know that these two women mean business. Jada Stone has a point to prove.
Cover 1, 2, and kick out after 2, Kirby.
I love all the tea that you bring to the table, Carolyn. I think we need to bring you back more.
I know. I wanted to make sure that everybody who's watching Reality of Wrestling right now gets all of the backstage, behind-the-scenes tea. And you can't get it better than Carolina Teague. There's reason there's Teague in my name.
And Promise Braxton trying to fend off Jada Stone, who's about to reverse this.
Jada Stone, the spark. She's starting to get fired up here, Brad. And honestly, so far, I think this is one of the toughest tests that Promise Braxton has faced, because just look at the way that she's taking it to her.
This has been back and forth. Absolutely, it's been back and forth the entire time. Cover 1, 2. Oh my gosh, right on her face.
My goodness.
Using Promise Braxton's own momentum against her to continue to get the upper hand here. A very unique maneuver there from the Spark. And Promise here trying to get back into the driver's seat. Big kick there from Jada Stone, and now gets caught up in the corner. Oh, went for the kick but missed. And oh
man.
Spiked her right on her head.
Right on her head and on her knee there. Cover 1, that's gonna be all 2, and no.
I mean, Promise is a veteran here at Reality of Wrestling, and we're starting to see the veteran presence right now in the ring. Jada Stone, she's brand new. She does want to make her mark, but right now, Promise is getting the best of her.
Jada trying to get back up to a vertical base here.
And this just shows Promise's promise that she made to herself, which was she was going to come out on top, and she's doing whatever it takes. They are, no pun intended, but they're not leaving any stone unturned.
That's right, I heard that. These two women just battling it out. You can see victory means so much here at the Reality of Wrestling, especially in our highly competitive women's division. Now Jada Stone showing a little something there, trying to find a way to come back in this one. A couple of flurries there, a sling blade, and now Jada Stone back in the driver's seat.
I mean, this is exactly what happened when she was trained as a Japanese style wrestler. She's hard hitting, she's fast, she's quick, and she's really showing her athleticism tonight. Oh.
Wow! And look at that, might have knocked out Promise Braxton. And what is Jada thinking? What is Jada about to do? What is Jada about to do?
From the top rope.
Oh my gosh! Cover. 1, 2, and no, not enough.
Oh my goodness.
Not enough. You would have thought that would have put out 99% of the women on this planet. Northern Light suplex going for a cover, but not Promise Braxton. This is wrestling chant for the Road Nation. God.
The crowd is riled up right now watching these two women go at it.
1, 2, and not enough either. They're beating the hell out of each other. Don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't seen two women.
Wait a minute. Promise Braxton going up top. This is uncharacteristic of Promise.
Normally Promise is one of the powerhouses here in the Diamonds division, and it's seldom that we see her go up to the top, and she may be about to pay for it, Brad.
Well, they call it high risk, but it looks like no reward is going to come to Promise Braxton. Jada trying to find her footing up there. That's a precarious position. Up on the top rope, and a top rope. Hurricanrana down to the floor. Cover. 1, 2. No, not enough. Not enough.
Holy pineapples.
Pineapples.
We talked about the Spark being one of the biggest prospects here in Reality of Wrestling, but she's proving why.
She's calling for it here. This is going to be the final. Cover. 1, 2, 3, and she got her.
Wow.
She is the chosen one for that very reason. The very best woman to walk through the doors of the Reality of Wrestling, in my personal opinion. What a battle from Promise Braxton.
Straight out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Steel City. She said her motto is pressure makes diamonds. Like everybody else, she just showed that she's ready to be a diamond champion.
Booker. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Hey, man, you know, man, it's all about taking care of business, representing the road. We got a big thing coming up this snippet today.
What up, man? Look, bro. Look, man, it's a reason I haven't called you, man. It's because you haven't been getting the damn job done. Look, man, I'm busy right now. I'm with Chris Van Vliet, one of the hottest, you know, the guys on the scene out here doing interviews, taking care of business. Yeah, you know, taking care of business. Look, man, my office hours are 9 to 5, all right? My office hours are 9 to 5. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. My bad. Let's get this done, dog.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Jay. What's up, baby? What's up, man? How are you? All right, listen. I know that you went ahead, you heard about what's been going on, all right? You heard about what's going on with Danny Limelight, Lexis King versus me and a partner of my choosing. All right, look, I'm gonna be real with you, man. The guy I was looking for originally, can't get a hold of him, can't make it, but look, I can't think of anybody better. Can't think of anyone better than Jay Alexander. You've been running roughshod on everybody here at Reality of Wrestling. Come on, man, what do you say? You and I could definitely handle Danny Limelight and Lexis King right here at the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena.
You see, Ryan, I'm nobody's second choice. And at the end of the day, I gotta look out for mine. But good luck finding that tag partner.
But you weren't...
Took some time off, a little hiatus, and finding himself right back in the mix.
Tonight he faces a tough contest in the form of the former Reality of Wrestling champion, Matty Ice.
Former Reality Wrestling champion, I should say, out to the commentary desk. Excuse me, out to the ring here as we have a special guest joining us at the commentary desk, Mr. Chris Van Vliet. Chris, welcome to the show.
What a pleasure to be here. What a night we've had.
It's been an incredible night of action. You know, you had your first here about a couple weeks ago, your first ever live inside the ring. What do you think you want to say to Max Castellanos?
Well, I thought the segment was going really well, but I will say I am not a fan of Max Castellanos. That guy, he is not nice.
He's not nice, is he? Are you going to watch this movie?
No. I was going to watch it, but not anymore. I hope no one watches this movie.
You're not going to do the junket for it?
No.
No? Okay, well right now.
I've never been so disrespected in my life.
Well, right now we have the penultimate event here on this edition of Reality of Wrestling. Matty Ice, the former Reality Wrestling champion, losing that title to Gaspar Hernandez, who turned around and lost it to Edge Stone. Side headlock here. You know, Chris, you're in great shape. Everybody knows it if they follow you on your Instagram. Both of these gentlemen seem to be in great shape. That might tell you something about who they are, right? A lot of dedication in the gym.
Both very conditioned athletes, and it's actually going to be interesting as the match continues to go on. Who has the better conditioning? That may be what it comes down to.
That's a really interesting point, Kirby. I mean, we know both of these guys are championship caliber athletes. You know, who can last longer in there against the other is a great question.
we're going to have to see as the things progress here, because we know that Matty Ice has been a champion before, but he's been champion in less time than Cameron Cole. When's the last time Cameron Cole held a championship here at Reality of Wrestling?
I believe it was Summer Champions a couple years ago.
So he hasn't been at that championship level for quite a while.
Right, trying to get back to it. Now, the story here, though, is, and we actually saw it before an interview, it looked like Chris Van Vliet was going to conduct with Booker T, that, you know, Matty Ice has been trying to get in touch with Booker, and Booker's been ghosting him. I mean, did Booker tell you anything on set about Matty Ice?
It just seems like Booker has more important things to be doing with his life than to be hanging out and waiting around for Matty Ice. Matty Ice looks like a poor lost... Oh!
He looks like what?
A poor lost dog. Oh, where's Booker T? Where is he?
Oh, wait a minute now. They're out here in front of us. Oh, look at that.
You hear that?
Yeah, you could echo throughout the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena. Ice in his veins is what Matty Ice is signaling there with that. Trying to get back into the game, and you're right, though. He does seem like he's like wandering around like a lost pup for Booker T.
I saw him walking backstage, you know, again, trying to look for Booker T, going through any door that he could. And honestly, I've never seen Matty Ice out of sorts like this before.
Look at the strength.
I mean, he definitely is well conditioned. As we talked about, a big hesitation suplex, going for a cover here. Proud of his work. 1, 2, and a kick out. Sometimes you can't, you know, let yourself get too far ahead of yourself, right?
Well, maybe if he didn't exert so much energy walking all the way around the ring, maybe this match would be over for Matty Ice.
He very well could have. Great elbow right there to the heart of the chest of
right
Cam
to the
Cole.
face.
And cover here. 1, 2, and a kick out. Again, we talked about Cam Cole, second ever Grand Slam champion in Reality of Wrestling history. Matty Ice, a two-time Reality of Wrestling champion himself. So these two men, I mean, they could find themselves in the main event in some kind of way at Summer of Champions 10. Now, Chris, you are here battling the elements all with us here in Houston, Texas, in the Texas City area. Hot day. Does that affect your lift in the gym at all? When I mean, in all seriousness, when it's that hot outside, does it affect your conditioning ability in a contest like this?
Oh my goodness, it's over 100 degrees out there. Hotter in here with the action we've got, my goodness, with Rowe. But you're right, like you're sweating already when you're entering the gym. And now you're sweating even more. And it can definitely affect you in the gym.
And right now, Cameron Cole trying to battle back. Cam Cole spent some time in Tennessee. Working, I believe, with Dr. Tom Pritchard. Trying to get his game to the next level. And Matty Ice out here right now, though, just showing off in a lot of ways. And in the center of the ring, that's where you don't want to be.
He's got to find his way to the ropes.
Got to find his way. Cam Cole, though, is so far out of position, Kirby.
He is trying to reach out or maybe even get back up to a vertical base here as Cameron Cole using the energy of the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena.
Great reversal there.
Great reversal, but look at that. Icebreaker. An icebreaker cover. 1, 2, and no.
Matty Ice can't believe it.
Well, Matty Ice normally has Booker T in his corner, Chris and Kirby. I mean, he normally has instructions being shouted to him, same way a corner man might have in boxing or MMA. Booker T giving him Hall of Fame advice, and now he's not there.
Well, Booker's saying, my office hours are 9 to 5. We heard it.
Yeah, find him when he's available.
Yeah.
I hear he's always available when he's available. And Matty Ice to the outside. And you have to wonder if all of that consternation. Oh, here we go! Like a rocket, like a missile, shooting across the sky here at the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena.
But you got to get him back in the ring if you want to win the match.
That's where you got to win, Kirby, right?
And that's exactly what Cameron Cole did here as the former Reality of Wrestling champion is now going up top. He could be thinking that code breaker from the top, and if he connects, that's going to be all she wrote, but Matty Ice saw it coming.
Matty Ice able to scout, but Cameron Cole on offense right there, a cam breaker, going for a cover. 1, 2, is that enough to beat Matty Ice?
2 3/4.
2 3/4, right. Almost had him, Cam Cole.
And Cam Cole not happy about that. He's saying, what do I need to do to put Matty Ice away?
Yeah, it's exactly what he's saying, Kirby. I mean, this has been a back and forth battle between two men who are championship caliber, as we've talked about before.
And they're showing exactly why they were champions before. But either of them with a win here, as you said, could be looking towards Summer of Champions, maybe to try and challenge Edgestone for that Reality of Wrestling Championship.
Well, still to come in our main event of the evening, Lexis King and Danny Limelight, the Empire State Champion, are going to be taking on Ryan Davidson and his partner, if he has one. We're still waiting to see if Ryan Davidson has been able to find himself somebody for that massive main event, or is it going to be a handicap match?
Very much could be a handicap match. You can't seem to find someone to be his partner.
And Ryan Davidson, you know, very well liked amongst most people, but, you know, hey, everybody has their own thing that they're up to here this evening. Not able to help Ryan. We'll have to see what happens in the main event. There's a sling blade there from Cam Cole. Cam Cole going for a cover. 1, 2, and almost. You know, this is your second, I guess, row experience, but your first official one at the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena. How's it been so far, Chris?
What an incredible crowd, and nobody does it like Row. I mean, to have a setup like this, to have a venue like this right here in Texas City. Oh!
Matty Ice outpowering him, and now I think as we get later into this match, we're seeing whose conditioning is better, perhaps.
It's exactly what we were talking about. These two men know each other so well.
They do. I mean, they've definitely done their game tape. I don't know if we've ever had a one-on-one encounter between them before. This might be the first one, but obviously
the position here. What's he got in mind?
Matty Ice. Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. Matty Ice rolls it through. 1, 2, and no. That could have been really bad for Cam Cole. 1, 2, and no.
They're just exchanging pinfall attempts here as both guys get back up on their feet. And now Matty Ice.
Oh, going for a backslide. 1, charged with less. Cover. 1, 2, and no. Wait a minute.
Whoa. What kind of pin is that?
Pinfall attempt here.
He got it. He got it. Cam Cole
pulled that out of nowhere.
What kind of pinfall is that, Chris? That's a winning pinfall is what it is.
Wow.
I have not seen something like that before. And now the frustration setting in even more on the face of Matty Ice. Wait a minute. Right now, Cam Cole saying, you don't need Booker T, you're the guy. You don't need him. Shake my hand. Do you think we're going to see it?
If Booker T was there, though, Matty Ice might have won. Great show of respect between these two competitors.
Matty Ice shaking the hand of Cameron Cole, kind of uncharacteristic of him.
Matty Ice has got to be thinking, if Booker was here, would he be the one with his hand raised at the end?
We will have to find out, but coming up next, our main event, Lexis King and Danny Limelight is taking on Ryan Davidson and a partner, perhaps.
Carolina Teague here with Reality of Wrestling, and I'm here with Danny Limelight and Lexis King. Tonight, you both are in the main event, going up against Ryan Davidson and a partner of
Lexis King, mi gente, papi. I know you a generous king, but you ain't have to bow rap Carolina Teague for me. Listen, you forgot to say the Empire State Champion, Danny Limelight. That's who I am. You forgot to say the king of NXT, Lexis King.
Yeah, get your words straight, man.
Figure yourself out, Carolina. Just like Ryan Davidson got to figure out which bozo from the back that he's going to choose to go mano-a-mano with me and Lexis. You see, Ryan Davidson, you've been running your mouth saying you're going to take back what's rightfully yours. You're going to make Texas yours again. But the truth is this. You ain't going to do a damn thing because, you see, I already told you. It's the Empire State Legacy. And now that I got my man's Lexis King here, he going to tell you what he going to do to your little stupid partner.
Look, we don't need time. We don't need preparation. I've known Danny Limelight a long time, and we've already got chemistry. We've already got a game plan. And look at you. You're going to have to be scouring the locker room, trying to pick up the scraps. There's not a single person back there that can stand with the king, let alone Limelight and King. And it's going to be the same old story, the same old song and dance when the two biggest stars in this building come out. And at the end of the night, everybody will be saying, long live Limelight and King, baby.
That's a fact, mi gente.
Walker Texas Ranger handles the bad guys with a roundhouse kick. I'm Jim Walker, Walker Texas lawyer. I handle the insurance companies with a roundhouse kick to the wallet. If you've been injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, give me a call at 713-888-8255. 552-1117 or visit my website at walkertexaslawyer.com. You'll be glad you did. Why would you call anyone else?
Recognized here in reality wrestling as the Reality Wrestling Texas Championship. Of course, Danny rebranding it for us, Kirby.
Rebranding it, in his words, rechristening it, but it's just absolutely disgusting what he did to the former championship belt.
That is an ugly looking championship. That's what that is.
Texas City, when it's all said and done, Lexis King is coming out with his tag team partner, Danny Limelight. Now, Chris, I know you know Lexis King on a personal level, and here he comes.
We got royalty in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Royalty in the house here.
I thought y'all were close.
I thought so, too. I guess he didn't like the last interview we did.
What can you tell us? What can you tell us about Lexis King?
I mean, everybody knows his legendary father, the late, great Brian Pillman. Not only does Lexis King look like him, but when you see him in the ring, he wrestles just like him as well.
Grizzled Ryan Davidson, the first ever Grand Slam champion in reality wrestling history, the most recent Texas champion that Danny Limelight was able to defeat for that now Empire State Championship. And the question is, Chris and Kirby, did he find a partner?
He's out here alone right now.
I mean, I've been thinking throughout our entire roster here, and we saw him talk with a lot of different people. I guarantee you that if there's anybody in the back that respects Ryan Davidson, somebody is about to step up.
Somebody might step up. Danny Limelight just shouting towards us and saying that Ryan Davidson is a failure. Wow. I don't know if I would ever use that adjective to describe somebody with the pedigree of Ryan Davidson.
He's the cornerstone for a reason.
But again, the question is this going to be a glorified handicap match, gentlemen, or do we have... It doesn't look like he has anybody.
2-on-1 it is.
Ryan Davidson is ready to get things started here. Nobody in his corner.
I just can't believe somebody wouldn't come out and be Ryan Davidson's partner.
Well, Ryan Davidson 2-on-1 here.
What's this?
On a second!
Well, we might have spoken too soon. Wow! Zilla Fatu is the partner of Ryan Davidson. And do you hear the reaction from the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena's crowd here tonight?
Well, this changes everything. I talked about the pedigree that Lexis King has and his legendary father. Obviously, we know the pedigree when it comes to this man, Zilla Fatu.
Yes, his father, of course, the legendary Umaga. And Zilla Fatu coming to the aid of Ryan Kirby. I mean, what a team.
You want to talk about royalty on the side of Danny Limelight and Lexis King. Let's talk about the royalty behind the Fatu name as now Zilla is the one to answer the call. And here we go. We got a tag team main event.
We've got ourselves a match.
This is a massive main event for us this week here on the Reality of Wrestling. Whether you're watching with the 760,000 plus of our subscribers here on the Reality of Wrestling YouTube channel, on the CW39, excuse me, here in Houston, or one of our television affiliates around the country, you are in for a treat here this evening. Ryan Davidson, Zilla Fatu, the Empire State Champion, Danny Limelight, and the King of NXT, Lexis King.
Danny Limelight and Lexis King are not happy about this.
Well, how would you feel if a member of a Samoan dynasty all of a sudden showed up unexpected and Danny Limelight?
He wants none of it.
Well, Lexis King victorious in his Reality Wrestling debut against Ryan Davidson, Kirby.
It was just a few weeks ago that we saw Lexis King defeat Ryan Davidson, but let's be honest, it wasn't without a little bit of help from the current Empire State Champion, Danny Limelight.
Do we really have to keep calling him the Empire State Champion?
Well, you know what? As of now, I'm not going to call a championship that has a Yankee logo anything to do with Texas.
Fair enough.
As a Blue Jays fan, you would appreciate that, I'm sure.
It's true.
If there was a big Texas State flag on it, I couldn't call it the Maple Leaf Championship. Oh, wait a minute. Zilla Fatu and Lexis King, you talked about their lineages here. These are second-generation performers. In Zilla's case, a multi-generational performer.
A lot of strength with both of these men here.
But Zilla Fatu is such an X factor. You know, he's still so young in his career, Kirby, but he has all the intangibles.
Absolutely, you saw him right there push Lexis King. Aside is raising the ones. He calls himself the main one. And now Zilla Fatu brings a completely different game to this. And how do you think Danny Limelight and Lexis King can truly prepare for this, not knowing that Zilla Fatu is going to answer the call?
That's a great question, Chris. I mean, here's the element of surprise here.
Lexis King looking for a test of strength there, and hey, he's just saying, no, I'm going to do things my own way here.
That's typically how he does, yeah. But you have to expect the unexpected in this sport. Obviously, anything can end in 3 seconds. And when you have somebody like Zilla Fatu, you have to be well aware of the brute force and strength and the unpredictability, because he is still so young in his career. We don't have a lot of game tape on Zilla Fatu, and typically his matches don't go the longest.
They don't. He normally just goes one Samoan spike and we're out. But the biggest other question here for the other two is the fact that Lexis King and Danny Limelight have teamed before on AEW, so this is nothing new to them. They have chemistry already.
That is an interesting point to bring up. I mean, some experience with these two men, and Ryan Davidson and Zilla Fatu, none. But do you think that's going to prevent them from getting a potential victory here tonight, Chris? The fact that Zilla and Ryan have not been a tag team ever before?
Well, it doesn't seem to be working out very well right now for Lexis King. Lexis King has experience on his side, and like you said, he's teamed before with Danny Limelight, but he's not in a very good spot.
You know what? You're pointing out the obvious, but that's exactly right. He hadn't been in a good spot against Zilla Fatu, but trying to battle back and find his way. Look at that.
The athleticism. Wow.
That was impressive right there from Zilla Fatu. And it feels like every time we see him, Kirby, another layer of the onion gets peeled back.
He just continues to get better and better and better. He has victories over Tommy Bolton, amongst others here at Reality of Wrestling. And you've got to imagine that
here comes the grizzled vet, Ryan Davidson, who's probably looking for a little retribution, not only on Danny Limelight, but the King of NXT and the King, the self-proclaimed King of Texas City, Lexis King. I mean, he has very regal locks, wouldn't you say?
That might be some of the best hair in all of wrestling.
And we're talking about the hair on the top of his head and on his face.
that's quite the beard. Maybe that's why we're not seeing eye to eye right now. I don't know.
Double headbutt. Now the Samoan powerhouse goes for the cover. 1, 2, and no.
The intensity that Zilla Fatu brings is just unmatched. Back to that headlock.
Back to the headlock. And Zilla Fatu isn't alone when it comes to a Samoan legacy here in Reality Wrestling. Oh, look at that. Out to the outside.
That could have been a completely nasty fall, but it's smart that he went for the headlock because it kept working until it didn't.
Well, Lexis King, I mean, that was vicious.
Lexis King on the attack now, saying, you've had me in a headlock for far too long. We're making the tag to Danny Limelight.
Now, Danny Limelight's going to be very methodical and pick his spot when he's going to enter the ring here. He is one of the very best. Look at that.
little showing off there. Shades of the Texas wrestling legend Eddie Guerrero with that one as it goes for a cover. Ryan Davidson, 1, 2, and no.
That could have been it.
Might have been the distraction that bought Zilla Fatu enough time to be able to kick out there. But Zilla Fatu is the Samoan Dynasty, no stranger to the reality of wrestling. Of course, his father, Umaga, competed at several reality wrestling events. Also, his cousins, the Usos, came and trained here at the reality of wrestling before going on to the WWE. His cousin, Jacob Fatu, also coming through the doors. Cover and no. So Row Nation. Long lineage.
I mean, everyone just named is incredible in their own way. And Zilla's proving why he's a force to be reckoned with in the ring.
You got to imagine that Summer of Champions is...
Look at that. Zilla Fatu able to power both men over.
Like I was saying, you've got to imagine that Zilla Fatu is thinking about Summer of Champions because that is where he made his debut just last year. He wants to come back with more momentum as Ryan Davidson. Here comes the former two-time Texas champion.
Lexis King in a bad way, trying to find a way out of this. And that inverted atomic drop. Now it can't. Clothesline there. Ryan's fired up. Going for a cover. 1, 2, and not enough to dethrone the King.
How much ego do you think you have to proclaim yourself as king of basically everywhere that you step foot in?
Well, to be fair, it is his last name. It is his last name, so it's not so much a proclamation as he's saying, well, you know, it's my last name. I am the king because I'm Lexis King.
Yeah, I have to agree with that assessment there. Now Danny Limelight there for his partner.
And there's that chemistry that we talked about.
Cover. 1. Not enough. Nonchalant.
Just one.
Just one. You have to do more than that against Ryan Davidson. Ryan Davidson, battle-tested, proven, not just here in reality wrestling, but all over the world, having memorable tours in Japan, as well as in your home country of Canada.
All around the world.
All around the world is Ryan Davidson, but his heart is right here in Texas. And that's why he is so upset with both of these men, but Danny Limelight in particular, because Danny Limelight has now besmirched the name of Texas professional wrestling.
I mean, we saw what he did to that Texas championship just a few weeks ago.
He threw it in the garbage.
He literally threw it in the garbage. It was awful. I hated it. And I hate the fact that he's making me say that he's the Empire State Champion.
Of course, we want to thank you again, Chris, for joining us here on commentary. You got the best seat in the house. And if you want to hear the best podcast in wrestling, make sure you subscribe to Insight with Chris Van Vliet on your favorite podcast app as well as on your YouTube channel. It's a side headlock. Cover. Kick out after
that.
2.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And if you're watching this here on YouTube, toss a subscribe over to my channel.
Exactly.
You'll see my most recent interview with the man himself, Booker T.
There you have it. Row Royalty, both on the podcast, and right now Royalty in the ring as we're back to Lexis King and Ryan Davidson, who, by the way, had a fantastic main event with one another until Danny Limelight's interference. I mean, Kirby Carry-On, Ryan had that victory just seconds away.
He was right there. He was so close. You've got to imagine that Ryan Davidson is still feeling the effects of that match just a few weeks ago, and you saw right there reaching for Danny Limelight, and maybe took his eye off the prize for just a second too long.
Zilla Fatu just beside himself here that he can't get in there.
Kick out after 2 there from Ryan.
Ryan Davidson is fired up after that kick out, but he's got to take a look behind him as Zilla Fatu is trying to tag himself in. Once again, this chemistry between Lexis King and Danny Limelight full display, but Ryan Davidson able to find his own opening.
Well, that could change things right there.
Very easily and very quickly. Can that change the entire match here at the Reality of Wrestling's Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena?
But Lexis King says, I don't think so.
Ryan Davidson still able to find an opening though. As now, look at this. He is just trying to reach for Zilla. Danny stops him, but not for long enough.
Zilla Fatu.
And that's that experience from Lexis King right there.
Veteran experience, you're absolutely right. And Danny Limelight, again, mocking the former Texas champion, going for the cover. 1, 2, and not enough. I would say close and no cigar, but I don't want to bring up any bad memories for you, Chris.
Please don't. I feel like weeks later, I still smell like that disgusting cigar smoke.
Can I be honest with you? You do.
Thanks. I've showered a lot.
Cubans. As Lexis King has Ryan Davidson in the center of the ring, it looks like Zilla Fatu able to find a way back to his corner. Danny Limelight still there, and the Row Nation getting behind the grizzled vet, Kirk.
Look at that, Ryan Davidson with an overhand there to Lexis King. Connects with a second one, just fingertips away. But Lexis King able to pull him back and right back down. Do you think maybe that's frustration right there from Lexis King, Brad?
Absolutely. This is frustration on display. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Patented Ryan Davidson right there. That is classic. Bear power slam right there. And now the question is, who gets to their corner first? Is Lexis King going to get to the Empire State Champion? Or will Ryan Davidson get to Zilla Fatu, the main one? The energy in here is electric. There's a tag. Limelight. Tag to Zilla Fatu. Here comes Zilla.
Turns him inside out.
Zilla Fatu right now. He's on fire. Danny Limelight trying to fire back, but oh my
gosh. Danny Limelight getting sent to the heavens and down to the Isle of Samoa. Danny are trying to have a strategy session on what the hell to do here.
I think they want to leave.
I wouldn't blame them.
And now Zilla.
Oh no.
Look at him.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. Zilla Fatu.
Right in front of us.
Look at the reaction from the Row faithful at the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena. He's looking up to the heavens.
The main one, over the top, looked up to the sky, and now it looks like he's ready to take out Danny Limelight, the Empire State Champion.
For a blind tag from Ryan Davidson, and the Bear, oh my gosh. Lexis King is out of commission. Danny Limelight, looking for it, looking for the Davidson driver. Got it. Bear trap, fist drop. Ryan is all business right now.
And this crowd is fired up.
He's looking for it.
Chris, you're about to find out why they call him the cornerstone of reality of wrestling as Ryan Davidson lifts up the champion.
Oh, wait, no.
Danny Limelight says, I don't think so. Lexis King.
Lexis King just took out Danny Limelight.
We got friendly fire.
A Super Samoan spike. And now, looking for the Davidson driver. Can he get the pin? 1, 2, 3, and he did it. Ryan Davidson and Zilla Fatu victorious over the King of NXT and the Empire State Champion, Chris.
And Zilla Fatu remains undefeated here in reality of wrestling.
And look at that. Ryan Davidson pointing to the sky, Curb.
Acknowledging Zilla Fatu and acknowledging the bloodline here at Reality of Wrestling as it runs deep. But what a main event that was, as we are just a few weeks away from Summer of Champions 10. How are things going to shake out between Ryan Davidson and Danny Limelight?
We are going to have to wait to see. Right now, I think these two are going to relish in an incredible victory here on Reality of Wrestling. For my broadcast colleague, Kirby Carry On, our special guest, Chris Van Vliet, Our executive producers, Booker and Charmel Humphrey, and our director, Kevin Bernhardt. My name is the Brad Gilmore. This is the reality of wrestling, and we will see you all next week.
That bloodline ain't no joke, baby. Texas, stand up, baby.